Hello guys, in this video, I'm going to be giving you the tips for the upcoming examination. So guys, remember that in term 2, these are the topics that we learn, right? So in term 2, these are the topics that we learn for mathematics. So firstly, we covered the exponents. So guys, we need to understand the laws of exponents. And in this case, we can see that we have four laws of exponents. We have four laws of exponents. So this is the first law. This is the second law. This is the third law. And this is the fourth law. Okay. And then one thing that we need to understand is that we need to distinguish the difference between the exponent and the base. So in this case, we can see that we have a to the power of m, right? So our a is our base and our m is our exponent, right? So if we check the first law of exponent, we can see that when the base is the same, we simply add our exponents, right? When the base is the same, we simply add our exponents, okay? And then another thing that we also need to understand is algebraic expressions. So we need to understand algebraic expressions. So guys, the difference between an expression and an equation is that an equation will have an equal sign, right? So let's say we have 3 plus 2x plus 4x squared equals to 0. This will be an algebraic expression. I mean, this will be an algebraic equation because of the equal sign, right? But for it to be an algebraic expression, it won't have any equal sign. So it means that it will be 3 plus 2x plus 4x squared. So we can call this an algebraic expression because it does not have any equal sign. Okay, and then we also need to understand functions and relationships as well as graphs. Okay, and then guys, another thing that we need to understand is that in term 2 we cover both term 1 and term 2 content. Okay, so we need to understand both term 1 and term 2 content. Okay, so now if we look at functions and relationships, we can see that here we are going to start by looking at the input and output values. And we need to be able to determine the input values as well as to determine the output values or the rules or patterns and relationships using flow diagrams, tables, and formulas, right? So in this instance, you'd find that we are given an input value and we can be requested to find an output value. And we know that our input is represented by the variable x and our output is represented by the variable y. Okay, and don't forget guys that we do offer online extra classes for grade 8 mathematics. So we do offer online extra classes for grade 8 mathematics. So if you want to join our online extra classes, please make sure that you send us a message on the number that you are seeing on the screen. Okay, and then another thing that we need to understand is graphs, right? So we should be able to analyze and interpret global graphs of problem situations with a special focus on the following trends and futures. And the trend and futures that they're talking about, we can see that we have linear or non-linear. We also have constant, increasing or decreasing. And again, we also need to understand how to draw graphs. So we need to know how to draw graphs. Okay, so we need to draw global graphs from given descriptions of a problem situation. We also need to be able to identify futures listed above, and we also need to use tables or ordered pairs to plot points and draw graphs on the Cartesian plane. So our Cartesian plane is our graph, right? And so if we have something like this can be called our Cartesian plane. So this can be called our Cartesian plane. So that's what they mean by Cartesian plane. So we should be able to draw the graph on our Cartesian plane. And we know that this will be our y-axis, and this will be our x-axis. And then here we will have our 0. And then this side, we will have negative values. And then this side, we will have positive values, right? This side. Okay. So guys, please make sure that you study, and please make sure that you are prepared for the upcoming exam. And please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that when we post new content, so that when we post question papers, you can be able to um, be notified